Here we go. Friday, January 21st, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, the bottom line. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. I say good Friday afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, man, I really appreciate that, man. Friday. Hey, let's just talk about Friday. Feels good to be here.
Doesn't it?
We've had a great week. Everybody listening, watching, viewing, however you can view or listen. You guys have been loyal and supportive, and it's got us through this week. We're doing an amazing job. It's Friday. Jesus Christ. Where is January going? We're about to be in my birthday month.
We are about to be in your
birthday.
Hey, next week, me, and then in February, it's you guys. Tom Mazawey along with us as well. Tom, good afternoon to you, my friend.
What up, fellas? Happy Friday. I can't wait for football tomorrow and Sunday. That's all I got to say.
To me, this is the best weekend of the year. When you have the two games tomorrow and then the two games on Sunday, we'll talk plenty of football, but the weekend as a whole
the 8 best teams
is
playing.
second to none.
Yeah,
I like it better than the Super Bowl.
I'm trying to find a way to disagree with you, and I'm thinking like one of the great weekends for me is All-Star Weekend because typically, one of the great weekends for myself and Tom Mazawey is All-Star Weekend because you know what typically happens? All-Star Weekend leads into our birthday. It's either on our birthday. That's a great weekend. The Olympics when they happen every 4 years,
coming in
that's
2 weeks.
Great.
Yep.
But to your point. Yeah, this is the one because you really get the nuts and bolts. You get the you separate
every game.
The pretenders
every game is
from the contenders.
every game is right on, man.
Yeah.
Every game. We got Sam Reynolds.
And every game has a level of a storyline in it.
Without question. The great Sam Reynolds with us in the audio booth. Sam, good
Big
afternoon
Sam.
to you.
Good afternoon to you guys. How you guys doing today?
Good, man. Any big plans out of you this weekend?
Date night tonight with the fiance, but other than that, I'm not sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, hold on. Don't just leave us hanging. What's going on? What's date night about? Talk to us.
Downtown Royal Oak.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
That's
dinner, a couple drinks after that.
sounds about right. I'm
That's
kind of
right.
like trying to keep it a little spontaneous, but definitely downtown Royal Oak. That is where I will be.
Why
Good
don't
for
you
you.
take her ice skating? Go down to Campus Martius.
Oh God, you don't want to see me ice skate.
One half of the Woodward heavyweights with us as well.
Get us some. Hey, guess what? Get us some of that gypsy vodka.
The great Spencer Raxter,
heavyweights.
baby. Raxter's with us. Spence, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. Heavyweights episode 2 released today, so that's up on YouTube. We're ready to go.
What were some of the topics you guys tackled?
We tackled the divisional round. We tackled UFC 270 coming up on Saturday. We talked a little Stafford. It was a good show.
So Spencer in for Alex today, and if you have not yet, give.
Do you know about this guy? Do you remember what we played? His imitation, how spot on it was with the what it was. Can't wait.
Yeah.
The bar Scott can't
Let's
wait.
see it.
This guy. Hold on, you got to do it right on the spot. Let's see. Hold on, you got to go right now. Interview. I'm Sao Paulo Antonio.
It's for all the non-believers. All the non-believers. Everybody want to talk crap about our defense like we're not a good defense. We're the third best defense in the league, and we're the ones who get disrespected. Felt great. Poetic justice. Third best defense in the league, and we're the ones who get disrespected.
What about their
nosebleed.
defense, Bart? Bart, what about their defense?
Their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed.
What about next week?
We're going to Pittsburgh. Can't wait.
Gotta love it.
That was
One half
11
of the
years,
Woodward
right?
heavyweight.
11 years ago.
Give the
wow,
Woodward
you
heavyweights a
played that.
follow. My goodness, such a good watch. You guys are doing a great job. Episode 2 dropped today.
I appreciate it.
On YouTube, guys.
Yep.
I do want to, and we've got a great show for you today. Brandon Brown, publisher of Wolverine Digest on Sports Illustrated, of course, and then at top of hour number 2, Bob Nightengale, USA Today baseball columnist, got a host of topics to talk to him.
He's Mr. Baseball.
About host of topics. There's a lot going on in baseball that I do want to talk to him about. But I have to mention this. Breaking news coming into the room here from the Spartan community. Samuel L. Stanley at Michigan State put this out in regards to Brendan Santo. He was gone missing for over 80 days from the Michigan State game. Here it is. Spartan community, we are saddened to share that after 2 months of extensive searching, using countless resources and support from so many of you and members of the public from nearly every corner of the state and country, Michigan State Police and Public Safety has recovered a body believed to be Brendan Santo from the Red Cedar River. We continue to believe that there was no foul play involved and that Brendan did not intend to harm himself. There was also no threat to the safety and security of our campus. Brendan's disappearance on October 29, 2021 impacted many across our university community. While news today may bring some closure to such a tragic incident, our hearts ache for the Santo family, Brendan's loved ones, and friends. We kindly ask the community to respect the family's privacy during this very difficult time. And we certainly here at Woodward Sports send our condolences to the Santo family and everybody involved, family, friends. This has been a big story, and from that Michigan State game, so many people have devoted so much time and effort and energy into looking for Brendan's body. And Tom, your daughter goes to Michigan State.
My daughter Lily. Matter of
My little
fact,
sister goes there as well.
her dorm is where Brendan was heading. He left the one building. He had texted his friends who were in my daughter's building, the Brody campus, Armstrong campus, excuse me, and they were heading. He was heading there is when he just went off the map. Everything fell off the map for him that night. The night before the game was that Friday night. It was havoc in East Lansing that whole weekend. My daughter called me several times and was really nervous about that entire weekend. I mean, it turned out to be a hell weekend. And Michigan State won the football game, but everything surrounding that game was really bad at East Lansing, and Brendan lost his life. They say it's no foul play. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. It's one of those
God
things,
bless him.
100%. It's one of those things where I don't want to make light of what happened in terms of him disappearing and then finding him 2.5 months later. It's one of those things where, you really have to look at Michigan State, the students and individuals, because this has been the thing. Like, Michigan State, they party hard. And you've seen them, like, when they get big wins, like, they party as a result of those big wins. Has to be some type of guidelines in place, and et cetera. Maybe a conference. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, this could potentially be prevented in the future if you have a conversation about whatever. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
People
even
are saying, is it suicide or no? It's not suicide.
Yeah, that's what they say.
It's not
I don't even want to speculate as to
what
happened.
I will say is just, and this is, I don't want to be disrespectful at all. It doesn't take 2.5 months to find a suicide.
Yeah,
but
the Red Cedar River. I mean, the Red Cedar is a hard. Matter of fact, they were going to dam the river to try to locate the body. I'm not sure if they did that or not, but it took that long because it's so windy that it took till now.
Most individuals that commit and I actually can speak on this because I've been working with Sean for the last 5 years. Sean from Sports Marketing Agency. We had him on yesterday talking about mental health with Malik McDowell. Most individuals that commit suicide, they commit it in such a way in which they want to be discovered or found.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's 2 years in, 2.5 months in the Cedar River, that's why I say I don't think it's suicide. I think it's foul play.
I think he was dumped there, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, again, from the community anyway, the university does believe there was no foul play and did not believe that Brendan wanted to harm himself. So
this kid was
like contradictory though. Like, you don't believe it's foul play and you don't believe
this kid was a Grand Valley student. He came from a great family. The kid was terrific. His friends said nope, he never had any problems. He didn't sound drunk when he called them. He said, I'm on my way over, and he never got there. And it's like not even a 10-minute walk.
I think it's more of a situation where the officials up there that have found the body are trying to respect the wishes of the family. And so I apologize if I was a little aggressive. It's about the family, and my heart goes out to that family.
Without question. So I wanted to point that out because it was such a big story around here, and this all just came out within the last hour or so here locally. There is no easy transition to get back to sports, but that is
Let's go.
That is what we will do. Big weekend of football, and one team not involved this weekend, but we hope to be involved perhaps next year and 2 years later and in the coming years are the Detroit Lions. Did you know, guys, 1 year ago today, Dan Campbell was introduced as Lions head coach. It was a press conference unlike anything we had ever seen.
Ryan, how has that year gone?
Before. Well, pretty good. Let me take you back first to that press conference and Dan Campbell.
This is going to be a good one because I think it's some knees introduced into this one. So,
do we not have that, Spencer?
If we don't, I can give you a brief invitation.
Okay, give us the invitation.
Hey, I'm just here, man. I'm just a guy that loves football, and I was given an opportunity to coach the Detroit Lions, so I'm excited, man. But we're going to be some knee biters, some knee slappers. It's going to be a pike of coffee as well as extra shot of espresso.
Yeah. So anyway, Dan Campbell, of course, back in that press conference, talked about biting kneecaps and talking about the kind of team that he wanted to build in Detroit with the Lions.
Which rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah, nationally. I don't think locally. Yeah. I think locally everybody was on board with it. I think nationally a lot of people thought it was some clown show and the like. But I think
I might disagree with you.
I think locally everybody kind of was on board and loved it. I think if I go back anyway, maybe the YouTube chat can fill me in a little bit on that.
You might be right because I feel like after the debacle that was Patricia and Quinn. Yeah. You know what? You might be right because I feel like people wanted someone to have some energy, have some excitement, and feel like they were about the city and about the team. So, you know what? You might be right, though.
Yeah, it was just one of those situations where I think so many people were not used to a head coach coming to a podium and speaking to, the fan base like Dan Campbell spoke to the fan base. And I appreciated it then, and I appreciated it now. I think my whole persona has changed about Dan Campbell from the time he was announced, which I love, to the first month and a half of the season, which I did not love. And then after that, I think this guy is exactly what the Detroit Lions need now. And I know that's a total 180 from some of the things I was saying at the start of the season, but nonetheless, this guy won me over. And he did that with a football team that plays hard, and a football team that it was competitive, and a football team that was undermanned, and a football team that got better as the year went on.
Yeah, also, man, it's one of those situations where as players in the NFL, like, all we really want from management, front office, from coaches, etc., just be honest. Like, just tell us the truth. Just tell us what's really going on. Just tell us what you're really thinking. Tell us what you really think about me.
Well, he seems to be that kind of guy.
No, but that's where I was going.
And his staff.
And that's what I was about to say. He's a former player.
Yeah.
So he knows it. He knows that. He knows that people are in the front office are not very honest. They're not very genuine. So I guarantee you that is part of his DNA. When he walked into there, he said, the one thing I really want to do, I want to be very honest with the media, and I want to be very honest with my team. So I think that's what you see out of him as a former player that wants to get that out there.
Without question. So we'll talk about that. Are the Lions, did they exceed expectations? Are they below expectations?
What did we win last year? 5-3?
They were 5-11.
Okay.
5-11 under Matt Patricia.
And we won 3-2 this year.
Yep. 3-13-1.
3-13.
Yep. So we're going to take a break, come right back. Are the Lions where you thought they'd be? Are they who you thought they'd be? Or are they somebody else? We'll talk about it next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Little Dennis Green over there. I see. Woolworth Sports Network, it is the bottom line.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Hey, gang, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag, our studio sponsor, and the place I put my sports wagering in. That's right, get on. And if you're a first-timer, well, you're in luck because MyBookie will double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. That's your money to do whatever you want with it. All you got to do is use the promo code Woodward. That's it. Go to MyBookie, find it, put in that promo code Woodward, turn $100 into $200, turn $1,000 into $2,000. The NFL Divisional games coming up starting tomorrow in Tennessee. The Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee #1 in the AFC. And Derrick Henry's back. The King is back. They are laying 3.5 to the Bengals. You like that one? How about the Packers at night at home against the 49ers? And again, a doubleheader on Sunday. You got the Buccaneers playing the Rams, Matthew Stafford, of course, and the Chiefs and the Bills. Do it all on MyBookie.ag. Use the promo code Woodward. Double your first deposit all the way to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. with MyBookie. If you have a problem gambling, please call the Michigan Gambling Hotline, the Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
This place has been kicked, it's been battered, it's been bruised, and I can sit up here and give you coach speak all day long. I can give you, hey, we're going to win this many games. I can't. None of that matters, and you guys don't want to hear it anyway. You've had enough of that shit, so excuse my language. All right, here's what I do know, is that this team is going to take on the identity of this. This place has been kicked, it's been battered, it's been bruised, and I can sit up here and give you coach speak all day long. I can give you, hey, we're going to win this many games. I can't. But none of that matters, and you guys don't want to hear it anyway. You've had enough of that shit, so excuse my language. All right? Here's what I do know, is that this team is going to take on the identity of this city, all right? And the city's been down, and it found a way to get up, all right? It's found a way to overcome adversity.
Hey, Maz.
All right? And so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth. All right, and when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you, and when you knock us down, we're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right, and we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right, and on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down, and when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing, all right, that's going to be the mentality.
Oh, yeah.
That was Dan Campbell 1 year ago today at his introductory press conference for the Detroit Lions. And I got to tell you, they did this season exactly what he said they were going to do in terms of playing hard and, paraphrasing or biting the kneecaps, not literally, but figuratively. And I didn't think that I would love this football team as much as I do. Today. As after week 3, week 4, week 5, I kind of wanted them gone.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted them gone. And then slowly but surely, step by step, players started to get better. The offensive line came around. Defensively, you saw Amani Oruwariye and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you saw all of these. Derek Brown. McNeil. Ali McNeil. You saw exactly all of these younger players get better. Jameer Jefferson.
He let them play. You know what? He didn't do the easy thing that we were yelling at. Go out and get a free agent. Go out and get all these guys that are getting cut. He didn't do that. He stuck to the game plan. He let these kids play, and we're better off for it going forward.
I think so too. And Braylon, I mean, the Lions. Where are they? Where is this? Where are you with the Detroit Lions right now? 1 year later.
You know what I love about the press conferences and watching Dan Campbell and look at that. You got a guy who has a disheveled tie. You got a guy whose shirt's probably wrinkled underneath a little bit. His sports coat, it's probably like right off the rack, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I love about that? Guy, he doesn't care about any of that. You know what the guy cares about? Football. You know what the guy cares about? His players, his organization, his city. Everything he said in that initial interview, the press conference at the podium, he's tried to implement somewhere in this season, and you've seen it, man. Like, I literally can listen to that press conference, and then I can assess the 18 weeks that was the NFL season this past year. And you just watch Amon-Ra St. Brown blossom in the last 8 weeks. You watch Jared Goff when he had time and he had space and he had the comfortability. You watch this the acquisition of Josh Reynolds. You watch like you said, Amani Oruwariye. You watch it's coming together. Like he said it would in that press conference, man. And that's what you gotta love it. It's a guy. It looks disheveled. And it looks disorganized, but it looks disheveled and disorganized to us. But to him, he knows where he's at. He knows where he wants to be.
Look what he did with Anthony Lynn right away. He said it wasn't working. If I'm going to go down, he felt what we felt.
Yeah.
We wanted to change something.
Yep.
So he did. He said, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down my way. And it might have hurt Anthony Lynn's feelings, but at least he still got paid, and they separated at the end of the year. The rest of the staff looks like it's status quo. We'll see who steps up as the OC. The draft is coming up. It all hinges right now on Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell now.
And that's the thing about being an honest, genuine man or just individual, period. That's the thing about being honest, genuine, and upfront. Because the conversation I guarantee you he had with Anthony Lynn, this conversation he had, he told me, he said, look, man, it's just not working out. I'm sorry that I bought you out of what you want to do in terms of retirement. It's just not working. I'm going to, we're going to part ways, etc. He had that conversation. I guarantee you, Anthony Lynn was not mad at all because of how it was presented to him.
And again, I think you hit the nail on the head because he treats his coaches the way he treats his players.
The family.
You treat them like a man, and that's right. You treat you treat a man like a man, and that's all you can really ask for, right? I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. You just tell them how it is. I will say this: 3 wins is not. I thought they'd have more wins this year.
Well, we already said they could have had 7.
But I don't care about the wins.
You thought
right
that they
now.
would have more wins.
I did, but I'm an optimist.
Why?
Because I just did. I'm an optimist. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl every year.
The optimism, it played well for you as it relates to Michigan.
Yeah.
It played well.
They could have had 7 wins.
They could have.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't have.
Well,
they should not have been.
I think a lot of people pegged them for 5-6 wins. I
think I said 3, but they should not have been in the Minnesota game the first time around. They should not have been in the Rams game. They should not have been in Green Bay game, and they should not have been in the Ravens game.
Yeah, perhaps. In that, we could argue about that till we're blue in the face. But I'm more happy about where this organization is today because I think they're a lot closer than I thought they were. At the beginning of last year, when Brad Holmes takes a 6-year contract and you start shipping players all over the place, cutting guys, you say to yourself, man, 6-year contract, is it going to take that long to get good here with the Detroit Lions? And the answer is no. I mean, this team is an Aaron Rodgers decision away from competing for the division championship next year.
Well, we'll see about that. I think that's a little too much, but we'll see.
I firmly believe that.
I
firmly believe
don't
that.
sell out the Packers without Rodgers. Don't sell them out.
Tell me who the quarterback is.
Hold on. No. Come on. You got to be better than that.
They
don't have any studs on defense. Like in order,
not yet.
We read Guardian Alarm all the time, and what do you say?
Stay out.
Defense wins championships. Yep. They don't have any bona fide studs on defense.
Not yet.
So you can't say they're an Aaron Rodgers away when they don't have any studs on defense.
I guess I would tell you that I believe they're going to get one in this draft, and they can get one in free agency. I mean,
they get in that quote in that column in the hunt.
Yeah,
remember we said if we are in the hunt in December.
Hey, if Aaron Rodgers leaves the Packers this year, 8-9, 9-8 could win the division in the NFC.
Would Aaron Rodgers want to go to the Detroit Lions just to shove it up the what of his former team twice a year?
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers. I'm interested about Aaron Rodgers because I wonder if he's thinking about staying in Green Bay or if it's Las Vegas or Pittsburgh or Denver for Aaron Rodgers.
I think it depends on this year, how far they go. If he rides off into the sunset, he's got nothing else to prove here.
Do you think he'd retire?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, legitimately.
Why not?
Maybe
he'll go join what's his name show? Who's
Pat McAfee?
Yeah, Pat
McAfee.
I'm telling he's good, man. He's very entertaining. He is.
Yeah.
To me.
So we can stick with that. We'll also talk to Brandon Brown, publisher of Wolverine Digest of Sports Illustrated, get to the latest on the Jim Harbaugh situation, what we know now, what we don't know now. Has Jim Harbaugh even made up his mind? We'll get a Michigan perspective from it next. Brandon Brown, we'll talk to him. Ermanni and Edwards.
Wolves Network, bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Central World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand. One thing about Centron, and this is just coming off the cuff, it makes you feel good. like, oh my God, like the shots that they have, the Turmeric and Pineapple Revitalizer shots, they're just so amazing. They enhance your well-being. They enhance your physical fitness condition because it just makes you feel good. It gets you going, gets the juices going, man. Like Will Ferrell said in Blaze of Glory, man. Nobody knows, man. It's just provocative. It gets the people going. Centron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at LCA. We got to work on that one. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and a great taste, Centron is your choice. There's nowhere else to go. Centron is your choice. Centron is more than just a beverage, it's a lifestyle, and Centron doesn't just fit into your lifestyle. It enhances it by encouraging you to look good and feel good and move good. Drink it, live it, Centron.
All right, gang, welcome back to Woodward Sports Network on a Friday. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. Friday show, and it wouldn't be complete without just going 5 for 5 this week. 5 shows, 5 days talking about Jim Harbaugh.
We're going all the way, man.
Yeah, we
every
are.
day we're doing it.
Harbaugh watch day 23.
Every day. If he don't say anything, we don't care. We're going to say something.
And let's bring him in. Brandon Brown, publisher, Wolverine's Digest of Sports Illustrated. All over the story. Brandon, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
I will ask you succinctly, first and foremost, do you believe this is just a conversation between Michigan and the Las Vegas Raiders, or is there another team in the mix here?
I actually do think it's Raiders or Michigan right now. I think it's really interesting if you go back to Stephen Ross's comments when they fired Brian Flores, which a lot of people feel like that was a mistake in the first place. But his words that he used were interesting. He said something like, "I'm not going to be the guy to take Jim Harbaugh away from Michigan." He didn't say anything about like we wouldn't hire him or we're not going to do that, or it was kind of like a deliberate choice of words. So to answer your question, I think it's Raiders or Michigan, but if Jim Harbaugh shows that he's definitely going to leave and go to the Raiders, I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen Ross was like, wait a minute, we're gonna talk about some stuff. But I think it's Raiders or Michigan right now, yeah.
So here's another question I have, and one that this is what I don't know, and to be honest with you, I'm not even sure Jim Harbaugh knows what he wants to do. However, do you think he is deciding on the Raiders, or are the Raiders deciding on him? Does that make sense?
I'm quite certain it's both. Quite certain it's both. I think the Raiders and Mark Davis, there's a relationship there. They really like Jim Harbaugh. They want him. But there's other options for them, too. They're still dealing with the Rich Bisaccia thing. From all accounts, he's not going to be the guy. But, I mean, dude, when you have, like, a ton of your players advocating for a guy and the whole culture and community around the Raiders wants him, it's tough to just say, well, too bad, we're not bringing him back, even though he's not a head coach candidate. None of these other teams are coming after him, and if it wasn't for the fallout with Gruden, he's never going to be the head coach for the Raiders either. So it's kind of a weird scenario there. And then with Harbaugh, like, he loves Michigan, and he just had a fantastic year, and there's a million reasons for it to come back there too. I think it really is, like, the Raiders haven't made a formal offer to him, so he doesn't have anything to say yes or no to, but he's not just going to completely shut the door on them because he's still waiting to see what they might do. And, oh, by the way, if I don't like calling Michigan a fallback option because it's a damn good option for him, but he's waiting to see what all the things are. He wants every single thing on the table, and I think it's his prerogative to do that. It's a weird thing how people are like getting angry. It's like, dude, like this is his career, this is his man's life.
Dude, I'm with you 1,000,000% on that. Braylon?
Yeah, Braylon here. I've always loved the name Brandon because it's like the cousin family, man. Like if you take out 2 letters, man, it's Braylon. You take out 2 letters, it's Brandon. I always loved that. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree in terms of it's Harbaugh vetting the Vegas Raiders and the Vegas Raiders vetting Harbaugh. No, it's not. It's legitimately Harbaugh vetting the situation. Like, he's a coach, and we talked about our brand. They want him. They want Harbaugh to come in, because if not, then they will listen to every player that is a Vegas Raider that says, hey, we want Rich Bisaccia. But my question, Brandon, has nothing to do with the Vegas Raiders. My question is this. If Harbaugh – excuse me, where's my gum? If Harbaugh leaves – I apologize. If Harbaugh leaves, has Harbaugh set up enough in terms of what Michigan is and built enough on that foundation for Michigan to survive without him?
I think so. I mean, like, it's Michigan, man. The brand is always going to be there. The
it was Michigan when it was Michigan when Hulk was there, and it was Michigan when Rich Rod was there. So you can't rest on that.
I think Brady Hoke was in over his head, and I think Rich Rod got a raw deal. And I think that's what happened there. And Michigan's in a really good spot right now. I mean, Jim Harbaugh had them in the limelight last year. Obviously, the things he accomplished, beating Ohio State, pounding Iowa, winning a Big Ten title, going to the playoff, like, it's the best season Michigan's had in 25 years. Arguably, you can make that argument. And they're in a good spot. And I think some of that momentum will carry over no matter who's the head coach. I do think that the best case scenario for Michigan right now is to bring Jim Harbaugh back. I don't think anybody would argue that, but he's looking at what he wants to do. There's no question about it at this point. If both sides wanted to be all in with each other, it would be all in with each other. So I think the Raiders do want Jim Harbaugh, but I feel like Mark Davis feels a little stuck. He's going to rock the boat in a big way if he sends Bisaccia packing, but he wants Harbaugh. And there's been some weird talks about a potential trade out there for a big-name coach, too. So there's a lot of stuff going on both sides of this thing, for sure.
Hey, Brandon, Bisaccia got interviewed yesterday by the Raiders, so he's not completely out of the picture yet. But as far as Harbs goes, if he offers the job to him, this is why he's sitting. I'm not sure if his wife would like to head to Vegas, because I think they got it pretty good in Ann Arbor. My question is, if he does leave, we've been saying all week, and the boys think Mike Hart might be stepping up. What's your thoughts on the next Michigan head coach?
That is another loaded question. I mean, if you promote from within, you do keep some of that, that continuity, that synergy that was built with that staff last year that was clearly special. I mean, before the season, you heard the players talking about it, and you're like, all right, well, it's probably lip service. We'll see what it looks like. And then it looked amazing. It looked incredible, and there was a very palpable, tangible feeling there about how the staff got along with each other and how the chemistry was and how the players bought into all of that. So from that angle, I like it, but Mike Hart's never even been a coordinator. I mean, that's a big jump to go from a running backs coach to a head coach. You do have Josh Gaddis sitting there. I mean, that's the Broyles Award winner. That wouldn't be a weird thing for him to get a head coaching job, but having Michigan be your first head coaching job is another big step. So it's another situation.
Dan Campbell sitting down the street as a first-time head coach from a tight ends coach. So it does happen in the state of Michigan.
Sure. I mean, look.
If you want Dan Campbell results, cool.
I actually like that.
This is the 1-year anniversary of his hiring. What are you doing?
I like Dan Campbell.
Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame.
It happens.
You're right.
Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma.
I don't know who's on that staff right now, because I do think this late in the season you would just hire from within. So I don't know who's on that staff that would be, a head coaching candidate, because I do believe it, and this is where I'm a little stuck too, Brandon, because I believe when it's all said and done, I mean, the Raiders are very unconventional. I don't think they need some formal sit-down interview with Jim Harbaugh. I can see Mark Davis say, "Hey, Jim, you want the job? You got total control. Here's $12 million bucks. You want it?" And I think he'd take it. I think when this is all said and done, I just really believe that the only thing preventing Jim Harbaugh from taking this Raiders job right now is Rich Bisaccia. I think you're absolutely right. I think the players in Oakland,
I keep saying Vegas, they love him.
They just want Bisaccia so bad. I don't think you can dismiss that.
There's 2 petitions that have been signed, and tell me if I'm wrong, Brandon. One petition is Derek Carr to stay the quarterback of the Vegas Raiders, and the other petition is Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah. From what I've been told, that I was told this exact sentence was told to me. If Bisaccia wasn't the interim, if they just had an open position, Harbaugh would already be there. That's what I was told. I don't know if you believe that. I don't know if I entirely believe that. I do think there's plenty. I mean, dude, a long list of reasons why Jim Harbaugh would want to stay at Michigan. A really long list. But I was told it that way.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's Michigan and the Raiders, and that's it. That's
even though a last minute, like he said, is Stephen Ross. If he's going to go, Stephen Ross is going to say, "Hey, look, you're screwing me here in Ann Arbor. At least come on over to South Beach."
You know why you go to the Raiders? You know why you go to the Raiders, though, too? Number one, Las Vegas, that owner, total control of the team.
Right.
And you're going to go get a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson.
But to Maz's credit, though, you mean to tell me if Stephen Ross is like, hey, you know what, I said I wouldn't be the guy to poach him.
Right.
But since he's already being poached and considerate, bring him down here.
Yeah.
You don't mean to tell me that Stephen Ross wouldn't give the guy that he loves,
he's hands
that
off.
Give him a call.
admires his school. No, not even that. His school, he wouldn't give him full control.
Right.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Jim Harbaugh does appear like it's just business as usual right now, and that's the right thing to do, right, Brandon?
He's a workaholic. The dude's
Yeah.
football 24/7. He's going to do his job. He's going to recruit well. He's going to make a great hire in Mike Elston because that was like the window to do that was now. And he, again, coming back to Michigan is just as realistic as anything else. So it's in Harbaugh's best interest to do a good job while he's still the coach, in the case that he's the coach the rest of the way. You can't take 3 weeks off of your job. What's the alternative? He's going to be sitting at home just like drinking coffee, hanging out. He's got to do his job.
Right.
He's out there grinding.
Right.
He's having a big recruiting weekend. The dead period's lifted. It's a 24/7 deal with recruiting. You got to grind. You got to get after it. And then the hires too, same thing. I mean, if you want to hire a guy like Mike Elston, who's been in demand before, who's been at Notre Dame forever, you go get him right now, and you bring him home, and you bring him back to his alma mater. So yeah, there's been a lot of people that have said, well, he's not going to do any of those things if he's leaving. Well, what the hell else is he going to do? Just sit around and wait? I mean, he's got a job. He's under contract. He does care about Michigan. He's doing his job, man. He's a grinder. He's a workhorse. That's what he's always done.
Brandon, you're talking about a guy who loves football, and that's what you just said. Listen, I played for Jim Harbaugh and the 49ers in 2011. Twice I was at the facility past 10 o'clock. One time I was there, I was having conversations. I was talking to my positions coach. We were watching film, and I'm leaving. It's about like 10:15, and I walk past Jim's office. He's asleep on a cot. He's sleeping on the cot. The other time I was there, same type of situation. I was rehabbing my knee. I was there late. I came back to get some late night rehab. Just wanted to make sure my knee can go, etc. About 10:15, same time. Went upstairs. He was sitting on the cot watching film. This is a guy that loves football. Does not want to go home. He lives, eats, sleeps, dreams.
He is something.
Hey,
man.
Brandon, can I take a 30-second break? I got a couple more questions if you got time. Do you have
For sure.
time? Great. Okay. Brandon Brown, publisher, Wolverines Digest of Sports Illustrated, with us next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Wolverine Sports Network, the bottom line.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
All right, right back here, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We're with Brandon Brown, publisher, Wolverines Digest of Sports Illustrated. And Brandon, I so far, I think I've agreed with every single thing that you've said, because
He's been nailing it down.
I do, and I feel the same way.
There's nothing to talk about, but there's everything to talk about.
There is.
Right?
Let me ask you your feeling about this, Brandon, because I think one of the reasons why now is the right time for Jim Harbaugh to entertain essentially the idea of going back to the NFL is because of this NIL. If you're going to compete in college football, man, you better have it down like Texas A&M or like Georgia or like Alabama. You know, Texas pays their offensive linemen $50,000 a year. You know, you've got to have it down if you want to compete with the big boys. Where is college football going over the next 3 to 5 years? And does Jim Harbaugh want to do this? Where you're, taking calls from parents, hey, my kid's not making $100,000 this year, or this. We're gonna transfer if you can't get him a deal.
I need a tractor.
I mean, does he want to do that? Who wants to do that?
Ricky Rowe.
Oh man, I was just about to say blue chips right there. You walk outside, brand new tractor sitting in the driveway.
Ricky Rowe with a bag of money.
That's right, man. That's right. It's changing. I mean, just so fast, and there has been some pushback at Michigan. It seems like there's, some hurdles and some red tape being created that's not really there. I mean, you see what these other programs are doing. It's not against the rules right now, and Michigan has still got a little bit of this, well, we don't really want to step into that end of the pool just yet. And there are players on Michigan's roster that did very well with NIL this year, but it hasn't been like a full jump in with 2 feet where you've got a slush fund essentially with these donors dumping money into it every single day that simply being on the team gets you paid. That hasn't happened at Michigan, and I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, there's, the Valiant brand and the people behind the scenes with that are trying to do some things, and you hear about donors wanting to get involved and they can't, and you hear about, I think there was a little video that leaked where Harbaugh even said something about, like, let's get these guys to use the Block M. He said something, like, out loud about being able to use the Block M for NIL, and they can't do that yet, when other schools are like, man, use our logo, use our facilities,
right,
use the school, use whatever you want. And so when it's allowed to be an even playing field, but the school is not letting it happen, like, that's tough, man. John U. Bacon, I think, was the one who said that it hasn't been as big of a deal as it's been made out to be, that the NIL stuff is a concern, but I don't know if it's a reason why Harbaugh would stay or leave. But it's there. It's real. It's been a thing. And I don't know what Michigan's going to do about it, but it seems like they're a long way away from doing the stuff you mentioned from A&M and from Texas and from even Michigan State.
Yep.
Even Michigan State up the road is starting to get involved in this thing in a much bigger way, and we just haven't seen it at Michigan yet.
Yeah, Brandon, this isn't a question. Ryan actually has another question, but this is more of a statement. Guess what? You never will see it at Michigan. Michigan's an arrogant institution that wants to do everything clean and by the book. Like, that's why you've seen, like, Michigan won't stoop to – Notre Dame, too. You could throw Notre Dame into this kind of conversation. Yeah. They won't stoop to certain levels. They won't do things to get certain players. I got a million stories of players that I know. They won't do certain things. And also, as it relates to NIL, they see that as a way to cheapen the brand. And one thing the University of Michigan will not do is cheapen the brand.
Yeah, it's such a... I throw my hands up because I don't know which way to do that. I think of Jim Harbaugh as a football coach who loves Michigan, who would love to coach there. But then I'm thinking about these parents who are going to every year that, once you got to recruit them at 15, 16, 17, 18, and then you get them to sign, and then you got to re-recruit them every semester almost to stay with your program because of the transfer portal.
Yeah, guys are jumping ship at the first sign of I don't like it here, I don't want to be here, I'm not going to play. And like I don't hate on the players for doing that, but that's absolutely a headache and a stress for a head coach that you didn't have to deal with even 4 years ago. So yeah, that's a big deal too. And Braylon, I'm sure, can attest to this and say the same thing again. The transfer portal's not the same for Michigan as it is in other places. And so these are two major shifts in college football that everybody's dealing with, but Michigan's dealing with it a little differently. I don't know if you can say poorly. Like, it's a weird thing. Like, I on one hand, I understand what Braylon just said. You don't want to cheapen the brand, and Michigan is a proud institution, and they care about all that stuff. But on the other hand, like, you got to win football games, and if you're not willing to do those things, you're probably not going to compete with those football factories anytime soon. This is the best way that Michigan has done it in a long time this year. You beat Ohio State, you win the Big Ten, then you go up against Georgia. You can still see there's a gap there, and it's not going to get any smaller if you can't jump into these two things head first. And like Braylon said, it's not going to happen. And so what do? You feel a little handcuffed as a head coach.
But Michigan always cut their nose despite their face. Like, legitimately, like everything that you said and we're talking about right now, they still got to the playoffs this year. Mm-hmm. Being the Michigan area, still got to playoffs, and I think that will always
now
resonate.
It's different. Yeah. Now the stakes are going up.
But Michigan won't change. Like, the stakes have always changed.
They're not going to do anything.
But guess what? And Michigan's okay with that. Like, it sucks. Trust me, I played at Michigan.
Maybe Harbaugh
it sucks.
That's the point.
But
maybe
what
Harbaugh's
I was going to say also,
not.
You want to worry about recruiting every year the same players that you already have on your roster, and that is because of the NIL and because of the transfer portal? Or do you want to go out to Vegas where you have to deal with cornerback Nate Hobbs, where you got to deal with Damon Arnett, where you have to deal with Henry Ruggs as it relates to Vegas? The second year that it's in existence, the Vegas Raiders, now you have 3 players that have been DUI, killed someone, DUI plus killed someone. Do you want to deal with that? Or do you want to stay and deal with the kids that are 18 and 20 and have to worry about their parents?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But I mean, neither are ideal. I mean, I'm not going to say like, this one's a better situation than that one. But I mean, we haven't seen it at Michigan, but college kids can get DUIs too. Like, that's not exclusive to the NFL.
It's not as big in Ann Arbor, though.
It's not happening. I understand, but there's going to be issues. There's going to be problems.
One DUI in 40 years. It was Kevin Gray.
There you go. Okay, so yeah, there's going to be issues. There's going to be problems. I mean, obviously, the ones you mentioned at the Raiders are about as serious as they get in the NFL, and that's a headache you don't want either. But Yeah, I mean, and here we go. This is it. This is why he's figuring things out on both ends and why both scenarios make sense. There's pros, there's cons for the Raiders. There's pros, there's cons for Michigan. There's no offer even on the table yet from the Raiders, it doesn't seem like. What do you do? Figure it out, Jim. Good luck. I mean, that's where he's at. And that's why I think, Ryan, you said it earlier, everybody out there, John Bacon's doing the day 23, nobody knows anything. I think Harbaugh's on that list. He doesn't know anything. Mm-hmm. Like, how can fans get mad about the media speculating on what might happen when Jim Harbaugh doesn't know what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
this is like a mock draft.
That.
This is like a mock draft every day. That's what it comes down to. Hey, but before we let you go, Brandon, how about Juwan Howard and the basketball Wolverines?
We're on the same wavelength. I was going to ask
they got Indiana tomorrow. They had a great game the other night. I think it was Maryland. They beat the tail off of. So are they heading in the right direction?
I will say some things looked better. Hunter Dickinson looked recharged after missing a game or two or whatever it was. He looked like he missed basketball. He looked like he's been around the perimeter a lot more this year. I'll give you that. He needs to probably get down in there a little bit more. But he looked recharged, refocused, had a much better offensive game. It was probably Caleb Houston's best game as a Wolverine. Devontae Jones, man, I thought you'd see it earlier, but it looks like maybe he settled in a little bit more. Some of these freshmen are getting a few more minutes because the roster's kind of in limbo. Zeb Jackson's away from the team. We're not even really sure what's going on there. Braden Johns has been out. Got a bunch of guys have missed time. You've got like Deron Falls playing like double-digit minutes. That's never happened in his career before. So it looked better. Maryland's not very good. If you look at Maryland, what they've done this year, they haven't beat anybody with a pulse. So like, that was a good time to get them on your schedule, get a win, get some confidence back at Chrysler. Indiana's a winnable game, but they've got some talent, and then it's going to be really tough after that. I don't know what we're going to see out of this team. We talked about it on our live stream podcast the other night, and myself and my coworker Chris both said that this is not a tournament team. And so I guess, Tom, back to what does turning it around mean? Do they look a little better than they have before? Yeah, but what does that actually mean in the big picture? I don't know much. Yeah, exactly.
That sucks, man, because they've had a hell of a run under Juwan Howard. I mean, everything was between Beeline and him. They're a basketball school. Let's face it. Till last year, they were a basketball school.
They'll be back. Hey, Brandon, thanks so much, man. We certainly appreciate your time, and we'll have you on again hopefully soon when something happens, when we know something. Brandon, publisher, Wolverines Digest. Check him out, Sports Illustrated. Thanks so much, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, so there it is. There it is. It's funny because I was going to ask about Juwan Howard, the Michigan basketball team,
and
too.
He was there. Maz was already
but,
on
it's interesting, man. I don't even think Jim Harbaugh knows.
I think he does.
Well, I think this. I think he knows that if he gets the job in Oakland, God, why do I keep saying Oakland?
It's okay.
Because they've been Oakland.
Yeah,
Nobody cares.
If he gets the job with the Raiders, he's going.
I think they
offered him the position.
I think he's been offered the position.
If he's offered the position, he's going.
I think Jim Harbaugh has put himself in a very unique situation to where he can wait and request everything that he wants. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think you're seeing the delay. Like, if Jim Harbaugh gets offered the job, it's not about him getting offered the job. Mm-hmm. It's about him getting offered the job in the way in which the control that he feels he deserves. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what Jim Harbaugh, anything is waiting on. It's not necessarily about getting offered the job. It's about everything that he feels that he deserves and that he's worked for. That's what the delay is about. It's like, hey, yeah, I take 12 minutes, all other stuff though, but am I going to have this control? Can I do this? Can I do that? Et cetera, et cetera. That's what the delay is.
You're on it. It's and Maz, I got to tell you, that's a great kind of analogy to Jim Harbaugh talk to a mock draft.
Yeah,
you can't talk enough about it, right?
Because he's 100%.
We're going all the way, man.
You can't talk enough about it. One place he will not be likely going is the New York Football Giants.
Oh my God!
They have hired a general manager. Does that signify who maybe they'll be taken to be the head coach of the New York Football Giants?
So.
And who does the Houston Texans want to hire as their next head coach?
This one's a funny
Bizarre story. We'll have it for you next. Ermanni and Edwards.
World Sports Network, guess what? It is the bottom line.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more. From large luxury homes to starter homes, we will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, it's Mads for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. Your hosts, Chris and Noni Hunt. What is foaling? Well, it's throwing football at bowling pins. First team to knock them all down, you bring it home. You bring home the championship. 2 ways to play. You can host your corporate party, team building event. You can have $10 unlimited open play, or you can have a private lane reservation. That's up to you. They got over 100 beers, that $2 mystery beer machine, and multiple full bars. You bring the food or have it delivered in. Hey, we broke a trophy today.
And guess what?
Did you glue it back together?
Oh, my God.
He glued it back together.
Yes.
Look at that. There's the Foaling Championship trophy sitting in front of Braylon and
there.
Ryan. Yep, they had that first round bye, and they made it work.
So great.
Home field advantage works at the Foaling Warehouse. Come get your foal on. Check it out at foalingwarehouse.com.
Last time I checked, teams that got a bye in the playoffs and won a Super Bowl, I don't think they got punished because they had a bye. We're champs, baby.
Champions. That's a great point. I
Right
did
here.
not think
Christina
about it.
Gennari wants a rematch. That's all I got to say.
Christina and Maddie. Christina and Maddie. They
Chris-
almost beat us. They should have beat us.
Wow.
Except for the golden arm of this guy right here.
Never came out of the game.
He's a
No,
stud.
he didn't.
He is
Never
a stud.
came out of the game.
Poke high, man. Poke high.
Thanks, Al Bundy. Hey, if
you
you're
go.
just tuning in, we spoke with Brandon Brown, got the latest on the Michigan
What's
situation
the
with
latest?
Jim Harbaugh.
What's the latest?
And the latest is, I think everybody's on the same page. I do. I think if he's deciding on Michigan and the Raiders, I think that's what it comes down to. One team most likely he's out of the mix on would be the New York Football Giants. That's because they have hired a general manager. He was the assistant general manager for the Buffalo Bills, Joe Schoen.
All right, Joe.
He's now the general manager with the New York Football Giants. So does that mean he will take a coordinator from Buffalo with him, be it Leslie Frazier?
You know who he's taking. You
Brian Dable.
already know.
Brian Dable.
Brian
Thank you.
Dable.
Brian
Brian
Dable
Dable.
was the offensive coordinator when I was in Cleveland in 2009. Brian Dable.
You like him?
Yes. I didn't like him then, but I like what he was trying to do, if that makes sense. Who likes Belichick? Let me ask you a question.
Can he
Who
take
likes
Josh Allen
Belichick,
with
guys?
him? Can he take Josh Allen with him to New York?
Oh, hell no. No,
They're in Western New York now.
Technically, they're in New York.
I know they're in Western New York. I wanted to go to Jersey.
Yeah, you can just say they're in New York now,
Yeah.
and then they go to Jersey. No, but I think Brian Daboll will be the guy that he tries to bring with him.
It's interesting, too, because, I listen to Michael Lombardi a lot, the former general manager.
like that Michael Lombardi.
I love Michael Lombardi. I just think he's on it. And he kind of talked about how coaching has totally changed. The way people have hired coaches. He's always been of the belief that, there's stages to being a head coach where you're a coach, and then you're a coordinator, and then you're an assistant head coach, and then you're a head coach. And guys believe in you because you have a track record.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you just hire Joe Schmo off the street because you like him.
Because he shook hands with Sean McVay.
Right. You have no idea. I'm not saying Brian Dable wouldn't be a great selection for the New York Giants, but he also kind of said that, depending upon the situation that you have, if you have a bad team with a bad culture, there's one thing to have a bad team, and there's another thing to have a bad culture. And
They don't have a bad culture in New York.
he thinks that it's a terrible culture because of the ownership. He thinks the situation in New York is dire and horrific and a terrible culture, one of the worst in the NFL.
Really?
Yes. And so he says that if you have that, you really should hire a defensive guy, because defensive coaches are more like, I don't want to say drill sergeants because that wasn't the word that he said, but defensive coaches.
They get after your ass.
Yes.
That's why you always love defensive coaches, because
Right.
they get after your ass.
Right.
They say things that offensive coaches, offensive, they're very finesse.
Yes.
And the way in which they talk to Reg, it's like, shut up, get after me a
Right.
little bit. But, Maz, I'm very disappointed that will be your reaction to said individuals saying that the New York Giants culture.
My reaction is I think he's wrong.
Oh, well, actually, no, it's not wrong because they've only been to the playoffs, once in the last 10 years?
I couldn't even tell you.
A bad culture is when you don't win anything.
Maz,
okay, they're a 4-time Super Bowl champion.
Maz, stop talking to me about the 80s and stop talking about I get it, 2011, 2007. But the one thing, Maz, this is the storied city in United States of America. This is the storied city, correct? This should and Chicago should be the same. But this should be a situation where you bring in individuals that can win because at the least represent the best city in the world. But they don't do that. They don't go to the playoffs year after year after year after year after year after year. You talk stuff about the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions have been to the playoffs the same amount of times as the New York Giants in the last 20 years.
And the Jets haven't won a playoff game
since I was
you
there.
were on the team.
And that's what I'm saying. So the fact that Maz is like, I'm like, Maz, this is New York. The fact that they are doing so, yes, I get it. They won Super Bowls under Parcells in the 80s, and yes, in the 90s, and yes, they did win Super Bowl with Coughlin. But they still never go. It's either Super Bowl or no playoff appearance.
Just looking at they've been
that's
really
acceptable
bad.
if you're the Detroit Lions. That's acceptable if you're the Cleveland Browns. That's not acceptable for the New York Football Giants.
So what happened to the Giants? Because I don't watch the Giants except when they've
had some bad hires and they've had some bad drafting.
So haven't had a winning season since 2016. What happened to the Giants? I mean, like
bad management.
Yeah,
bad management. But the ownership back in the day, the Maras and the Tisches were right up there.
And the key
top
word,
3.
And the key word is back in the day. We're not talking about back in the day. Back in the day, the Detroit Pistons were the Jill. They were beating individuals up in the Eastern Conference. But this isn't back in the day. This is now. And I want you to hold them to a higher standard because if this is one of your favorite shows, I know you guys love Breaking Bad, and I know you guys love exactly. It's Breaking Bad and it's 1A, 1B. Sopranos.
Yep.
If you saw a bad episode of Sopranos or you saw a bad season of Sopranos, you would be like, what the hell are we doing?
Right.
We got to get this together. You would be more judgmental. But because it's the Giants, you love the Giants, you result back to the vintage nostalgic days. Listen, they can't get it done, and this is an abomination of what they've been doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there was this story, too, regarding the Houston Texans that they want to hire Josh McCown as head coach.
I think he's still a quarterback.
Did he play this year?
I think he did.
Now, the story the story from Pro Football Talk says that they are trying to get another team to interview Josh McCown to be their head coach so that it looks legitimate to hire him. I've never heard that in my life. You want to talk about bad culture? I'd run so far away from the Houston Texans if you need somebody else to legitimize your own coaching search.
Legitimize your conscience?
If you believe that Josh McCown is the best candidate for your franchise, you hire Josh McCown. But if you don't believe that,
then you don't.
Man, I don't know who's running the ship over there in Houston, but if I'm Aiden Hutchinson or I'm Kayvon Thibodeau,
you're praying that you
I will tell you, well, I guess Jacksonville has the #1 pick, but I would do anything not to go to Houston. Anything.
If Jacksonville takes the offensive lineman, one of those players are going to Texas, and it's going to be Hutchinson.
Ooh-wee. Man,
they love him.
Thank you.
They love him.
How can you do that? If this is a legitimate report, Braylon, I will tell you it's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever heard in my life in professional sports. One of the most embarrassing of all time.
Yeah, we just live in a different world right now where like anything is possible and like nothing is surprising, But what I will say about this though, and I can't necessarily validate him as being a head coach candidate or a front runner at this point. But I could just say there have been a lot of teams and franchises that have hired him for his services, man. And it says a lot about him. It says he's knowledgeable, and he plays the most cerebral position in football, which is the quarterback position. So with that being said, the fact that, I think he's played for right under Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is at 8 or 9 teams, and I think McCown is at 8 or 7 teams. The fact that teams keep having him come in there, he's been with different coaches, and he knows front office and the management, et cetera. It might be one of those chances that, you have to take. I mean, hell, Josh McVay.
Yeah.
You hire Josh McVay.
What is he, 29?
He's 29, and I get it. He's running on the sidelines as a kid and all that. Josh McCown has been playing in the NFL for the last 16 years.
That's true.
So if you're going to hire Josh McCown, if you're going to hire Josh McVay, why could you be mad at Josh McCown at the quarterback position?
Hey, guys, we're going to change it up, talking a little baseball next. So much going on in the world of Major League Baseball. What's happening with the lockout, expansion, the Tigers, Carlos Correa, Hall of Fame. Lots to get to with Bob Nightengale from the USA Today. We will get to him next. This is Ermanni and Edwards.
What was Sport Network? The bottom line.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Oh, man, that Centron read is so good, man. It's just like a good time, like a fun time, though, man. But this isn't about Centron. This is all Planet Fitness. Guess what, though? Planet Fitness is home of a judgment-free zone where you can work out in non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. It's got to be great, man. Just go in there, have a good time. You work out, do your own thing at your own pace, your own weight, etc. Not have to worry about anybody worrying about what you're doing. It's got to be a great feel. Membership is just $10 a month, or a black card, $22.99. The black card is as follows. Members enjoy the use of amenities such as unlimited tanning, hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, along with access to over 2,000 locations worldwide. Join today in club or online at www.planetfitness.com. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. Now open in Midtown Detroit at the Detroit Pistons Performance Center. Check that out. It's a good thing right now. We had Derek Walton in there. He knows a little bit about the Performance Center. Right now, $0 down, $10 a month. Planet Fitness hiring all positions.
Friday fun here on the Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey with you. Pleasure to be joined now by Bob Nightengale of the USA Today baseball columnist, one of the best out there now. Bob, thanks so much for the time, my friend.
Thanks, Bob.
Really appreciate it.
Sure, my pleasure.
Best man cave in the business.
That's right. Best man cave, too. Hey, Bob, I wanted to ask you because, Major League Baseball and the Players Association are going to meet on Monday. Where are we with this lockout? I feel like we've been cheated as baseball fans a little bit. Hot stove and all that good stuff. Do we anticipate any movement on Monday? Quite frankly, do we anticipate spring training happening on time?
I don't think spring will happen on time. I mean, this is only the second time they're meeting in 54 days. So it's not like something magical they can propose and say, okay, that sounds great. So it's going to drag on. I still think the regular season starts on time, but I think it'd be far-fetched to think spring starts on time. I think the best case scenario would be an agreement by maybe mid-February, and the players report, right around March 1st.
What is the major sticking point here?
Yeah.
What's the major sticking point?
The owners want more money.
Well, the players want to get paid earlier. They do have the lowest minimum salary of the major sports, $570,500. They would like it raised up to about $750,000, and I think MLB is proposing, okay, how about $600,000, $650,000, $700,000. MLB would like to get rid of the arbitration system and say, let's just pay you on performance. So just because you have enough service time, you shouldn't have an advantage over someone who's a much better player who's a few days short. So they're trying to, get that resolved. They're not going to touch free agency. They don't want to mess up with the revenue sharing program. And also they want to do a deal where let's avoid tanking. I mean, right now too many teams aren't trying to win. They're trying to stop that and maybe do a juggling thing to draft where you have a little bit of a lottery like the NBA.
Hey, Bob, I wanted to ask you because I keep going back to this. What's different between now and 1994? And you pretty much answered it with the fact that you think that baseball, the season's going to start on time. But I feel like with COVID, we have learned to live without so many things. Without school, without going to funerals, without weddings, without this, without that. Does baseball understand what would happen if they don't start this season on time?
They would be a forgotten entity.
People get used to not having something really quickly these days.
Yeah, I think it'd be catastrophic. I think it'd be much worse than 94 and 95, just because the sport is, way behind the times. I mean, I saw that Gen X poll that had baseball. That's the sixth most popular professional sport in Gen X. I mean, football is so far above it right now. I saw where they get 40 million viewers for the 49ers and Cowboys game, where in baseball it was the lowest rated World Series of all time last year. So they need to make sure the season starts on time, or people will be turned off by baseball forever.
Hey, Bob, what do you think of the Tigers' moves before all this shutdown? They get Javier Baez. They go out and get him for what, $145 million, which would have been probably $150 million and change less than Carlos Correa. And they add another catcher from the Reds, Tucker Barnhart. What do you see on the Tigers? Because we're starting to get excited here in Detroit again.
Well, they have five top 100 prospects that are coming. They should be competitive this year. They were for a while, after the slow start last year. So I don't see them win the division, but certainly I think they could win the division 2 years from now. So yeah, I like the moves. Correa is a better shortstop. But I don't know if he's $200 million better. I think Correa wants at least $350 million. Barnhart was a good pickup. And there's over 200 free agents right now. So some are going to drop in teams' laps, like the Tigers, and get some guys at a real discount prices.
We saw Carlos Correa hire Scott Boras as an agent this week. What happens with him? Do you have a feel for where he'll end up and what salary he'll command?
Well, he wants at least what Francisco Lindor got. Lindor got $341 for the Mets. He's a better shortstop than Lindor. I don't think he's going to get that. He's kind of relying on the big markets coming forward, like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Cubs. The Yankees have a couple hot prospects, so I don't think they're going to be in on them. The Dodgers have Trey Turner at short, but for only one more year. I think they're kind of the X factor. And I don't see the Cubs, throwing that kind of money at them either. Houston wants them, but they're only offering $160, and that's not going to work. They could come up to $200, but they're not coming up to $340.
Bob Nightengale joins us, USA Today, baseball columnist. He is the baseball insider, man. This guy knows more than I've already forgotten, man. He's forgotten more than I know.
And he's got the best jersey, and he always has the best jersey in the background. He's got the bow from Auburn, man.
He does. He's got it all, man. Hey, Bob, universal DH was near and dear to my heart. Is it going to ever happen?
Yeah, it's definitely happening. So we'll see universal DH next year. The National League will have it. The owners got used to it, 2 years ago with the pandemic. So, yeah, it's definitely coming.
Will they finish off interleague play? I mean, do we need interleague play anymore? I mean, it was fun for a while. I do like when the Dodgers play Dodgers will play the Angels, Yankees play the Mets, the Cubs play the White Sox. But there's not after that, there's not a lot of great matchups I need to see. Can't they just shorten the damn season and add a playoff team?
Well, they could shorten the season. I mean, nobody wants the less money. The owners want the TV money. The players want their more game salary. But yeah, I agree. I think the interleague play is kind of worn off. People aren't nearly excited like they used to be. But still, it draws enough interest. People still love to see, the Yankees and Mets, Cubs, White Sox, Dodgers, Angels, that sort of thing. So I think it's going to be around at least until expansion, whenever expansion happens.
Hey, expansion, Montreal, Nashville, and now Tampa Bay. wanted to share, go to Montreal for half their season, and MLB says, no, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, that plan was never going to work, and the Players Association was never going to agree. I mean, guys have their families in Tampa to start with, and then you're bringing your family across the border and everything else. Nobody wanted to be part of that circus. So we'll see what happens in Tampa and Oakland. Baseball is really hoping they get those two situations resolved because they do want to expand badly. You go to 32 teams, much more natural for scheduling. And there are two teams or two cities they want to go to, Nashville number 1, Montreal number 2. They just got to get ballparks. But I think Nashville's coming for sure.
Hey, Bob, I want to ask you about the Hall of Fame. Guys up this year again, Bonds, Clemens, A-Rod, Schilling. Did any of those,
Poppy.
Big Poppy, first year on the ballot, did any of those guys get in? And, I feel like we've been down this road so many times. Like, isn't it time for Barry Bonds to get in the Hall of Fame or even
Poppy's
Roger Clemens? I mean, what's your take on the whole thing?
Give me Pete Rose, too, while you're at it.
Oh, my God.
I voted for Bonds. I voted for Bonds and Clemens from day one. This is the last year in their ballots. I don't think they're going to get in. I think David Ortiz does. He was part of the anonymous drug testing, turned positive. 3, I think he gets in, but the others 2 don't. Then it's up to the Veterans Committee, so they could get in maybe a year from now because on the Veterans Committee ballot, beginning in November. But yeah, I think it's a farce that both those guys aren't in. I mean, they're 2 of the greatest players, not of their era, but of all time. I mean, you could argue Bonds is, right there with, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Clemens, one of the greatest right-handed pitchers of all time. So, I don't know. They were the best of the steroid class, so I don't know why we prevent those guys from getting in, and we, let other guys get in that have the same credentials. Let's be honest. I mean, from Detroit, Pudge Rodriguez, a lot more steroid suspicions on Pudge than there ever was with Clemens or Bonds.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that bothers me about the Barry Bonds situation is Barry Bonds could have been a Hall of Famer just off the Pittsburgh Pirates alone. Like the Pittsburgh Pirates alone, Barry Bonds deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And that's the only issue that I have with it is I get it. I get the PEDs. I get everything that happened with Balco. But Barry Bonds is one of the greatest of all time, one of the best players of all time. And he showed you that with the Pittsburgh Pirates for, 12 years? Before playing with the Giants. So that's what pisses me off.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, how about length?
Well, the thing is, too, there were no rules back then. There was nothing in place. So, for instance, I voted for, Bonds and Clemens, Sammy Sosa, Sheffield, on and on. But I did not vote for Alex Rodriguez or Manny Ramirez. Those rules were in place. Those guys crushed their teams by getting suspended. Barry Bonds and Clemens, all they did was help their teams. They were never suspended a day or fined a nickel.
Last thing, Bob, length of games, when they start. Kids can't stay up for them anymore. Some kids aren't even interested in it anymore. What could be done? I mean, they've tried the pitch count. They've tried the runner on second base, yada, yada, yada. Guys like me that like to go to a game, I don't care how long it goes, but I'll tell you, man, when it goes past, I wish we lived in the Central Time Zone, even though I'm an East Coast guy. But, I mean, geez, man, staying up to 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, it's killing me.
It's old.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pitch clock's coming. It's not coming this year, but it's coming. That will speed up the game. I mean, it's not so much the length of the game, but just lack of action. It's like baseball's become if Tom Brady's throwing a bomb on every play. It's exciting when it connects, but you're going to go a couple of quarters without seeing a 50-yard pass. In baseball, everybody's just a home run, strikeout, or walk. I think that's what's turning off the fans. Not so much the length, but just being bored for 6 innings waiting for some action.
Yeah, good point. I still can't wait for it, though.
I know. I mean, we're baseball guys. We love it. Hey, Bob, thanks so much for hopping on with us, man. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Bob.
You got it. Bob Nightengale, one of the greats going. Anything you want to know in relation to baseball, check out Bob, USA Today baseball columnist, and on Twitter at @BNightingale. Guys, we're going to take a break. Come right back. We can react to anything he said.
React.
Every time. And we'll get to some football as well. He mentioned Tom Brady chucking it.
Is he in your top 5?
If Tom Brady is the GOAT, who rounds out the top 5 quarterbacks of all time? We'll get to that next. Ermanni and Edwards.
What was Sports Network? Guess what? It is the bottom line.
putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports. Braylon catches TDs.
On the slant, there goes Braylon Edwards. Edwards on a foot race, and no one's going to get near him. 80 yards for the touchdown.
Ryan catches Pokemon. We all have our strengths. The bottom line on Woodward Sports.
All right, guess what? It is Friday, and you know what? At the end of the day, what would you like to do at the end of a work week?
I want to have some gypsy vodka tonight.
Sit back, man. Sit back at the house.
That's what I want to do.
Just relax, turn on some hockey. I believe the Capitals and Bruins are playing tonight. Ooh, they played last night. Excuse me, but I believe somebody's playing tonight.
I'm just going to rewatch the playoff game from the weekend.
See what I'm saying? Oh man, you got a good playoff game to watch. You can watch the Cincinnati Bengals and the Raiders. Guess what you can do it with? Do it with Gypsy Vodka. Gypsy Vodka is gluten-free, Michigan's own vodka. This is Adam and Mike's brainchild. Guess what? I know I'm wearing the University of Michigan hat, but they are Michigan State guys, and they got it right. 50 different formulas went into this amazing product that is Gypsy Vodka. Corn distilled 6 times with artesian spring water. This thing is amazing, and also when you buy a bottle, you get a nice little piece of artistic creativity. It's amazing. Go to your local liquor store and ask for Gypsy Vodka, and guess what? Tell them Braylon sent you, and they might give you a discount. I don't know. It could, maybe, maybe not. But guess what? If you're going to drink, please drink responsibly.
I have to say, Dan Dockich just now on Twitter. Well, it was like I just looked at my feed. Dan Dockich says, IUBB, Indiana University basketball, played so well yesterday, thinking Michigan might try to cancel.
That's a good one, Dan.
Oh, my God.
Hey, touche.
You know, we talked about that, Braylon. You brought that up.
Talking about?
The minute Michigan canceled last year against Ohio State in football, they canceled this year in basketball against Michigan State and Purdue. You said
Michigan hockey canceled against Western. Michigan's female canceled again. I'm trying to tell you, I was very leery of the situation because I'm like, listen, I know my institution to be a very stand-up individual institution. They're very by the book, a lot of class, a lot of respect, a lot of dignity. But if they keep canceling games and blaming COVID, and they're major games for set ball club, whether it's the women's basketball team, whether it's the hockey team, or whether it's the football team, it's like, come on, man, they're going to do an investigation, and I don't want my institution to go through it. But guess what? You guys are throwing up a lot of red flags.
That is savage by Dan Dockich. You did say that was going to happen, Braylon. And you know what? Hey, they've canceled enough games against good teams. It's not like you're canceling when you play Rutgers. You know what I mean? Even though Rutgers beat our tail in basketball this year. Anyway, either way, let's get to some football now. Tom Brady. Yeah. Obviously, I think Brady's here when it comes to football quarterbacks of all time. Who rounds out your top
but
5?
Yesterday you picked him to be 5, and you
this year.
But he has the most passing yards. So don't do that. I'm holding you accountable.
I think Stafford's going to beat him this week.
Yeah, but you picked him to be the 5th best quarterback in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how he feels about this weekend.
Yeah. This weekend.
5,300, 45, and 12.
I know. If he wins this weekend, then he'll be in the top 4.
Oh, excuse me. He gets a one push bump.
Right, because Mahomes or Allen, I think will be there.
Guess who beat Mahomes last year?
That was last year. You didn't ask me last year, and then it had Brady won.
Hey, don't be bringing up your history, man. Remember you yelled at me? Don't bring up my Giants history.
Still a mental though. But no, you're talking about years ago. I'm talking about like less than 365 days ago, and it's a mental thing though.
Right, you're right.
Look at those QBs.
Leave this up here for a minute, Spencer, because I want to go through this.
Where's Sid Luckman?
Maz, you go first. I want you to go first. Give me your top 5 quarterbacks.
You want my top 5 loves?
I want your top 5 loves. And so Tom Brady number 1, and then who?
I have to have Tom Brady as number 1, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Aaron Rodgers.
Technically, you don't.
Aaron Rodgers is number 2 for me.
Of all time.
Yeah. I know he's only won 2 Super Bowls.
1.
Yeah, but he's going to win 2.
Is he? Oh, that was pretty good by you. Well, he's over Joe Montana?
I have Joe as number 3.
Okay.
I know he's 4 for 4. I love Joe Montana. The guy is he's poetry in motion. I love Steve Young. He's only won a couple, right, on his own.
One on his own, 3 total.
But damn, man, I loved him. These are people that I loved watching. I loved watching Brett Favre. He's only won one Super Bowl. I haven't brought up Peyton Manning yet, but Peyton Manning, for some reason, he's not in my top 5. I can't put him in my top 5.
I don't feel like it either.
Just looking at this list, I'm a Troy Aikman guy. I love Troy Aikman.
You lost me.
I'm sorry.
What did he ever do for you?
I just love the way he played. I know he had a great team.
Dude, you want to talk
he's
about
a winner. He's a winner.
You want to talk about a guy that had everything?
This is not a yell. This is not a yell. I've been working on being relaxed.
I like Ken Stabler for crying out loud.
See, I love Ken Stabler, and I love this hairdo.
Terry Bradshaw.
But what I'm saying, no, we're going back to Troy. Troy Aikman had Emmitt Smith, the best offensive line that ever was existed. He had Jay Novacek. He had Moose Johnson. He had Alvin Harper. He had Michael Irvin. And the list goes on. Look at the defense. Like, he basically is in a position kind of similar to what Matthew Stafford's in right now.
Dude.
Like, that's why I'm saying, like, Troy Aikman, give me a break.
Never saw an offense like that. I mean, you listed off all the guys.
You can't even name me a Troy Aikman moment.
That's a great point, Braylon.
Thank you. Name me a Troy Aikman moment.
Braylon, he's a winner.
But that's not what I asked you. I said, name me a moment. All those major quarterbacks, I can tell you a moment.
Think about that question for a minute,
That's a great question.
Think about that question.
Joe Montana, of course, had the catch.
White.
Think about that
Steve
question.
Young, the infamous stumble against the Rams.
John Elway with the helicopter.
He has a
Here's
couple.
Brady's moment. Hoisting that trophy every single year.
I'm about to say, like every year.
Tuck rule.
Brady's moment is the infamous pitcher sitting on the bench against the Falcons. That's Brady's moment.
Oh, that's good.
That's the infamous moment.
Put it up for me here, Spencer, because I go Brady 1. I'd go Bradshaw and I'd go Montana and Bradshaw, and then I'd go Rodgers, and then I'd go Johnny Unitas. And I'll tell you, that is the one player that I wish I would have been able to see. Like, Johnny Unitas is this name to me.
Johnny U.
He's just a name. And the only reason I included him in that list.
It's kind of like Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Wilt Chamberlain.
Right.
Like, where you
just a name that it will always be associated with a top quarterback of all time. And I am not dumb enough to not include Johnny Unitas in my top 5 because I think for an entire 50 years worth of, if you're but
Johnny Unitas.
If you're between 40 and 80.
You ready for this? Only Maz can vouch this. Johnny Unitas, Don Shula, they got screwed. They benched Johnny Unitas for the first half of the Super Bowl against Joe Namath because they wanted the merger to happen. That's why they lost to the Colts, because they said he was injured. That's why he didn't play the first half. But guess what he did in the second half? 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh, but he was injured. Am I lying, Maz?
He came in late. Earl Morrall was the guy that got him through that year.
No. He got hurt going into the playoffs, right? But they said he was hurt. Like, he played the first playoff game, but then they say he was hurt. Then he comes in the second half of the Super Bowl and throws for 224 yards, by the way, in 1969, in a half, and 2 touchdowns. One touchdown, but 244, literally in 1.5 in 1969.
Some people say Earl Morrall might have tossed that game.
Justin,
you missed what I'm saying.
That's the rumor. No, I'm not missing.
They tossed it so that they could do the merger.
Justin on the YouTube chat says Brady, Manning, Montana, Rodgers, LFIV, Brady, Montana, Elway, Unitas, Marino. Dan Marino's an interesting one because I wonder if Dan Marino had one championship, how far he would be up on this list. Like, where would Dan Marino be if Dan Marino had a ring?
He will be number 1 because
you think so, yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because he's already, and they start talking about Mahomes, etc. But Dan Marino is the most talented quarterback there ever was. Like, the things Dan Marino was, like, come on, Dan Marino threw for 5,000 yards in 1985.
Yeah.
And went to a Super Bowl. Think about that. 1985, 5,000 yards. Since then, there's only been 4 quarterbacks to throw for 5,000 yards. In damn near 40 years.
Think about that.
He's the most talented quarterback that there ever was. I don't want to hear it. Mine, I'll give you mine. Yep. I'm a Steve Young guy.
Hey, can you hold on? I want it next. You got a whole segment to yourself.
No, not a whole segment. Just 2 seconds.
Well, I want to comment on it. Ermanni and Edwards.
World Sports Network. It is the bottom line.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Hey gang, I want to let you know about Guardian Alarm. Boy, do they get it. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 freaking years. That's right. You know a good defense on and off the field that helps you feel secure. That's why Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe. All with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control your lights, your temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide, even going to let you lock and unlock your doors. All you have to do is call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
No. That's not it. That's not it.
What's that number again?
You tell
that
me.
number again is 1-800-STAY-OUT.
I believe you can do slightly.
Let's do it again.
A little bit better.
1-800-STAY-OUT.
Get out of my house.
Stay out. Spencer, what do you want him to do?
Get out of my house.
Stay out.
Stay out. Say it again, man.
Get out of my house.
Get out of here,
buddy.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Talking top 5 quarterbacks of all time here on the Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon freaking Edwards, and I love seeing that block M.
Come on, man. This is what we do.
Oh, man. Looking good today. Ooh-wee. So we're talking top 5 quarterbacks of all time. Spencer will put the graphic back up. Braylon, who you got here?
First of all, Steve Young is the smoothest left-hander that ever did live. The only left-handed better than him is Jerry West, the logo.
Oh, the Snake was pretty good lefty, too.
Who?
Ken Stabler.
Oh.
The Snake.
The Snake.
Excuse me, this is my time. Jerry West and Steve Young, sexiest left-handed sports athletes that they ever did make. Steve Young was just so much fun to watch. You know, it's one of those situations where, like, yes, you can say, you know, he took over after Montana left. Montana went to Kansas City, and he inherits great players, Hall of Fame players, but you still got to make it work. You still got to go out there and do it for yourself and do it on your own. And man, did he do it. He made it look fun. Warren Moon, 6 years in Canadian Football League, because at the time, NFL wasn't allowing black men to play quarterback. They didn't trust him at the position. So he spent 6 years in Canada, broke all the Canadian records for 6 years.
Won a couple Grey Cups.
Him and Jim Kelly went back and forth for a second. No, Jim was on USFL. But yes, Warren Moon, 4 teams. 4,000 yards on each one of those teams. Minnesota, 4,000 yards. Played with my father. My dad was actually in Warren's wedding, by the way. Warren Moon is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all
Love
time.
your blue.
Seattle and Kansas City as well. Tom Brady, obviously, we've talked enough. It's the GOAT.
He's the tops.
He is who he is. Got to have him in that list. Dan Marino, we just touched on him. Dan's on my list. I don't think you can have a list without Dan in the top 5. And then obviously 4 for 4, Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
Yep.
Where are you on Warren Moon? You love Warren Moon.
I do.
know you do.
I love him. I just wouldn't put him in my top 5.
But if you added Warren Moon's Canadian football,
Oh, he's a
passing
He's still ahead of Brady right now.
You talking?
He's still ahead of Brady.
I mean, passing wise.
No, every record.
Really?
He's still ahead of Brady. Yeah.
Wow, I did not realize that.
What's up, Sam?
I can't believe none of you had Peyton Manning in your top 5.
It just
I don't
didn't
like
do it to me.
He is the greatest. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on. You know why, Sam? And I don't mean to cut you off. You know why? What is the creme de la creme that we talk about and we judge people on, especially the quarterback position? The Super Bowl, right? Every Super Bowl he was in played like SHIT. Even the one they won, they gave him the MVP because it was Peyton. But Peyton didn't do SHIT.
He threw a touchdown to Reggie Wayne, that 50-yarder. I know he was wide open,
He also
but
had
still.
190 yards passing in the game.
Hey, they didn't need him. They were playing the Bears, the defense.
I don't want to hear
When
that.
he had a squad, he won.
Well, you know what? When he broke all the records, guess what? What did he do in the Super Bowl? He got his ASS whooped.
Oh, yeah, that Seattle game. I have nightmares. I was terrible.
You know,
I was
Peyton
there.
Manning is
Drew Brees. What did he do in that game?
Peyton Manning.
Oh, yeah, he threw that really bad pick, but still.
He didn't have any stats. My thing, even the one he won, when they plugged him in there because of what's his name, Osweiler.
Yeah.
Osweiler won the game and got them there, and then they plugged him. He still didn't do anything. My thing is, all that stuff in the regular season is cool and it's cute. What can you do for me as a great in the playoffs?
Well, let me just say this. He was the best regular season quarterback of all time. Would you guys agree or disagree?
Peyton Manning, look, I just was never a Peyton Manning guy.
I agree. I agree with you on that.
I don't know. I've just got something against him.
I understand.
I can't put my. I love him now, but I've just got as a sports fan. I never liked Peyton Manning. There was always something about him that just I hated.
Peyton Manning is the second best regular season quarterback of all time because you know who's number one. It's Maz's guy. Aaron Rodgers is the best regular season quarterback of all time. Peyton Manning would be too.
I think Aaron Rodgers has a chance to be the best regular season quarterback of all time. And also, one more thing about Peyton Manning before we get off Peyton Manning. He was 3-2 against Tom Brady in the playoffs. That's a fact.
How many rings Tom got? How many Peyton got?
I'm just saying, every time that each quarterback had a better team, they won it, like, respectively. Tom Brady won the first two. Peyton Manning won the last three.
Huh. I
Good call,
did not
Sam.
realize that. Hey,
got one ring.
Just looking at the... he's got two. One with Indianapolis, one with
He didn't win either one of them.
Hey, I'm just looking at the top 20 passing leaders of all time. You want me to...
Warren Moon's number 11.
Warren Moon is now number 13.
Oh, Rodgers and Stafford. Yeah.
There are a couple of names on here. Three names in particular that I'm just shocked. Four names
in the top 20.
In the top 20. I'm going to read for you the top 20.
You can give me a
names.
hint. I can guess.
Okay, wait. So Brady, Breeze, Manning, Favre, Roethlisberger, Rivers, Marino, Matt Ryan, Eli Manning, Aaron Rodgers, top 10. Okay, that's 10.
Right.
Now we go from 11 to 20. Number 11, John Elway. Number 12, Matthew Stafford. Number 13, Warren Moon. Number 14, Fran Tarkenton.
Sid Luckman got to be up there.
Number 15,
give me a hint. Give me a
all-time
hint.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, Esiason. Oh, no.
Ken Anderson.
Carson Palmer?
Carson Palmer.
15th
of all time.
But you know why? It's because of those years in Arizona.
Number 16.
Give me another hint.
Stay in Ohio, in Cleveland.
Oh, Kozar. Sight? Hold on, Cleveland?
Cleveland. I think he played for Cleveland.
Sight. Kozar, Sight. It's got to be one of those two. Or Otto Graham.
Vinny Testaverde?
No, New York Jets.
It was one of his teams.
Oh, okay.
It was one of his teams.
Okay. Number 17, Drew Bledsoe. Number 18, Dan Fouts. Number 19.
Give me a hint.
Baltimore Ravens.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
Good call, man.
And this one stuns me. This is what propagated the list of my dismay.
A hint.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Number 20 of the all-time passing leaders in the NFL of all time, New York Giants.
Phil Simms?
No, it's not going to be Phil Simms. New York Giants.
Kerry Collins.
Kerry freaking
man, good job.
Collins.
His time in Carolina too, though.
Are you kidding me?
We went to a Super Bowl, 35.
I know that there's a
Played
team that
Ray
goes
Lewis.
to the Super Bowl every year, but you don't show up on the passing league. I mean, I was Kerry Collins.
Penn State's own.
Wow.
He wouldn't have been able to do that in this climate, in this day and age, after the comments that he made. So.
What did he do? I have no idea.
Oh yeah, he used the N-word. Like,
he did.
Yeah, he used. This is not fake news. He used the N-word.
Really?
He used the N-word when he was in Carolina and it came out. And yeah, he still stayed in the league. But yeah, he used the N-word.
Oh my God!
Look it up. I'm not making it up.
I mean, trust you. I didn't hear about that.
Because I asked Joe Jurevicius about it. Because Joe
Really?
Jurevicius, they played at Penn State together.
Yeah.
Joe was on the team with me in Cleveland. I asked him about it. I was like, so tell me about Kerry. I said, because, he said, yeah, you know what? Kerry's a good guy, but old school traditions from the father to the son. That was what I got from Joe Jurevicius. And I said, All right.
Wow.
All right.
Joe Juravicius, man, he was a really good player. I liked him.
He's great.
Yeah.
Now Joe's the guy that you want in your foxhole.
Yeah.
Joe's that kind of guy. You want him in your foxhole. Like, he do the dirty work. He'll hold you accountable. He'll have fun. Like, Joe could just do it all. Joe's the guy you want in your foxhole.
Awesome stuff. I want you in my foxhole.
Hey, but guess what? I'm already there, buddy.
You are already there. Guys, we're going to take a break. Come right back. We'll talk some divisional round weekend. Plus, we'll get Chevy Will on from Les Stanford Chevrolet. We'll get
LesStanford.com.
That's right. LesStanford.com. Check it out. And, of course, we will do the picks. Yes, the most important segment of the show, if you are so inclined.
And I got some great videos coming up today.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Monster.
And it is the Woodward Sports. Bottom line.
Monster.
You want commercials? The other guys have those. You want great sports takes?
Touchdown! What a player!
Woodward Sports has those. Detroit's new sports outlet, the Woodward Sports Network.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, gang, I want to let you know about Les Stanford Chevrolet, located in the great city of Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. GM announced that all-new electric Chevrolet Silverado. Reservations are now open on Chevy.com. Les Stanford will have one of the largest allocations of that vehicle, so make sure you get in line at Les Stanford Chevrolet. For more, call them today, 313-565-6000, 313-565-6000, or hit them up online, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
LesStanford.com.
That's right, Les Stanford Chevrolet, find new roads.
Find them.
Gang, Bigfoot. I said at the top of the show, and I'll say it again, Braylon, I think this is the best football weekend of the year. You see the divisional matchups on your screen right now if you're watching on YouTube, and we certainly appreciate all of you who are watching on YouTube right now. I just love this weekend in the NFL.
Yeah, I think this is an amazing time in the NFL, amazing time in North American sports, period. But if you just look at that, man, I'm going to take a second to, take it all in, pause. It's all about storylines, Spence. I know you love that. I know you would catch on to that. But it's just about storylines. You look at Green Bay versus San Francisco. There was a walk-off field goal early on in the season. Green Bay cannot beat San Francisco in the playoffs. At least Aaron Rodgers can. You look at the Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry, he's back. What is he going to be? Is he going to be the Derrick Henry that, that we call the mutant, the X-Man? Or is he going to be someone kind of like a Willis Reed situation where he's there for mind F, if you will? You look at the new rivalry in the AFC and in the NFL period, which is Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Who wants it more? Does Patrick Mahomes want to show his dominance that he's been doing in the playoffs over Josh Allen? Is Josh Allen now going to take it and be like, hey, you know what? No, this is my time. I'm that guy. And then, man, you look at Tampa and you look at the Rams. With Matt Stafford, is it Matt Stafford's time? Is Matt Stafford trying to put a bow on his claim to the Hall of Fame and his claim to whatever? And with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is Tom saying, you know what? No, we're not over. We're not done. Don't count me out. I'm the GOAT. It's a great storyline weekend in the NFL.
I see the great Alex Mayer on the YouTube chat as well. And after I read the Les Stanford read, he chatted, find them.
Find them.
As he says afterwards, after that read every day that we do it, he says, find them. Les Stanford, find new roads, find them. So glad to see that Alex Mayer is feeling a little bit better. We certainly cannot wait for his return.
Miss you, buddy.
One of the big parts of the team here at Woodward Sports and our show specifically. We love ourselves some Al May. Check out his Michigan State report that he dropped on Wednesday as well. So we do not have Chevy Will. Is that what I'm being told? We have Chevy Will. Let's go to him right now.
We always have Chevy Will.
The
what are you
great
worried
Will
about?
Smith, baby. Will Smith. Chevy Will from LesStanford.com, who... what do you want him to do?
Just got to turn his camera.
Turn your camera, Chevy Will. Turn your camera a little bit. Pop him up.
That's his first time doing it. Give him a chance.
There you go.
What is this? Are you in the bathroom?
There you go. We got it. Yeah, baby.
I'll
we
tell
got
you.
it.
That look like bathroom cam.
Come on, Will.
I'm working on it, guys.
It's about time for a haircut, buddy. Come on, man.
And the Wi-Fi is here.
Hey, I got a barber for you, Chevy Will.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, dude, you're good, man.
This is like behind the scenes.
Go give the camera to Devin Taylor.
Hey, Will, tell me what.
I tried to use his phone. He's got his Android. I'm like, your phone sucks. You're out.
Will, what's happening at the shop today?
Not lotion.
Not much. Just trying to slang a couple of these Blazers. Corvette deliveries are starting to stack up on us, so we're just trying to get all those going right now.
You got some Corvettes? Maz wants one.
Can you imagine Maz in a Corvette?
But it's only 12 to 16 months for a wait. That's it.
That's it? Even for me?
Chip shortage.
Even for you, that's it.
Hey,
I'm calling Weston.
Chevy Will, let's get it. He'll tell you 18 to 24.
I'll take his then.
Let's get to the picks. Chevy Will, great stuff. And I know you're busy out over there, so thanks for tuning in and hopping on with us here. So let's go. Game 1. Maz, I'll come to you first. Bengals at the Titans, Tennessee. A 3.5-point favorite. That's the 4:30 game Saturday. 3.5 points, Tennessee over the Bengals. What say you, Tom?
What shirt am I rocking today?
The Oilers, the Titans.
Love you, blue. I love the Titans in this game. I love the Bengals, what they've done. I think they reached the end of the line. That Tennessee front is going to pulverize the Cincinnati offensive line. I hope Joe Burrow gets out alive. That's all I want to say. Titans by a touchdown.
Chevy Will.
I'm going to have to agree with Maz on this. He actually took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, I hope this guy makes it out of it too. I don't think he's going to. That front four is relentless. I got Titans all day. I think more than a touchdown, actually.
Oh, all right. Blowout. Braylon?
Come on, man. My dad was drafted. My dad was drafted by the Houston Oilers. One of my favorite players of all time is Haywood Jeffries. Come on, man. I'm going with the Titans.
All right. 3 ways for the Titans. Next game, Saturday night. It's the nightcap. The Packers. That game has actually come down to 5.5 now.
Well, it was 4.5, then it went to 6.
We have 6 on the screen, but we're going to play what it is now.
Okay.
5.5. Green Bay is a 5.5-point favorite after some money has come in on San Francisco. Maz, where are you with this one?
The more I think about it, I know it's not a great matchup for Green Bay, but they're going to cover that number. Green Bay wins that game and wins again and wins again.
Will?
I want to go with the Niners, but I think it'd be a mistake, so I'm going to go with Green Bay as well. Yeah.
Green Bay. Braylon Edwards.
Don't worry. My cojones dropped a long time ago. I'm going with the 49ers.
I don't need cojones to pick the best
team.
team.
If you got to pick that up, go for it. Will, don't mind us.
Chevy Wilson, I want to pick them, but I won't. I'm talking about him, not you. I'm going 49ers.
Who do you like in that one, Ryan?
Put me down for the Niners. I'm going back. Put me down for the Niners.
Thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about.
You know what? I think it's a bad matchup for the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers, man, is so special. Like he's
every year he's special, but he doesn't get it done.
I feel like they could be a team of destiny this year for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Last year was a team of destiny. The year they played Seattle was a team of destiny. The year they lost to Colin Kaepernick, team of destiny. The year they lost to Jimmy G, team of destiny.
I know it.
I'm not listening to it. 49ers again. They're going to make it 0-4.
Sunday, 3 o'clock. This is the game everybody here locally wants to see. Matthew Stafford and the Rams at the world champion Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady leading the way, of course. The Tampa Bay Bucks, a 3-point favorite over the Rams. The Rams already beat him once. Can they do it again, Tom Mazawey?
You don't make any money betting against Brady. That's a rule. I know. I follow it. So I really will not play this game, but I will have to pick a winner, and I am going to pick the Rams to win this game. Close, but they're getting the point, so I like the L.A. Rams in this one to win.
Will?
I'm gonna have to go with the Rams as well. I just think that there's not enough weapons for Brady to pull it off this time. I know you're not supposed to bet against Tom Brady, but I love Matt Rocket Arm Stafford, so I'm going to have to go with the L.A. Rams.
Braylon?
What has he ever done to show you that he could beat Tom Brady in the playoffs?
Nothing.
Until he does it.
He played for the Detroit Lions for 13 seasons.
First of all, I don't do that because that 2014 team is a team that they could have won the Super Bowl. They had everything in place, and he didn't do anything in the playoffs.
Who could have won the Super Bowl?
The Detroit Lions.
They could have won a Super Bowl?
They literally got, watch this.
The refs, that was all the refs. Don't bring that game up to Devin Taylor.
No. It was not the refs. What did they do in the second half? Nothing. Stop worrying about that one call and focus on what happened with Stafford in the second half. Nothing. What happened with the Detroit Lions in scoring points? Nothing. They scored no points.
Game plan.
They scored
We
no
threw
points
it
in
to
the second
Pettigrew
half.
to ice the game.
Listen. If you want to say somebody's a Hall of Famer, then he has to be Hall of Fame in Hall of Fame situations.
Can he do it this week? That's the question.
No.
No.
He's gonna show you. He's gonna show you.
All right,
He's gonna show
big
you.
debate there. Last game on the
I'm
schedule.
not listening.
Josh Allen and the Bills at the Chiefs. Kansas City, a 2-point favorite. Kansas City. Maz, where you at?
Buffalo. I told you.
Buffalo
and the Packers.
You would die for that because you got the futures plays
I
on
do.
both those. Will, where are you?
I kind of want to go Buffalo, but then everybody's like, "Oh, well, he beat a rookie in the snow." I'm like, he beat a Bill Belichick team. I don't think he's going to lose twice to the Chiefs.
What do you say?
I'm going Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Like it's the same thing with Brady. Like until you show me, hey, what's going on in the background? Tell everybody shut up.
Bring Chevy Will down.
Until you prove me wrong, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the AFC Championship as it relates to Mahomes, got to go Mahomes. But also going back to Stafford, is he the same guy threw 8 interceptions in December?
Yeah, look, it's a question.
Same guy threw 8 interceptions.
They were putting him in bad situations.
Entitled to their opinion.
But here's the problem with that though is everybody keeps making excuses. It's he was in Detroit. They put him in bad situations. When are people just going to realize it's him?
Well, we'll find out this weekend, won't we? I mean, we'll find it.
Unless Josh McVay puts him in bad situations.
Right. Well, I mean, we'll find out.
Talk's cheap. Let's see.
Yeah, right. We're going to find out how bad that situation was. Chevy, Will, you got any parting words for us?
Well, if the Rams win, it's a win for the Detroit Lions fan base. So let's just leave it at that.
I do wonder if a lot of people. I think I find, and we talked about this earlier today. Will, thanks so much, everybody. LesStanford.com. Let's see. Everybody's calling you right now. They heard the segment.
Get on it.
Get on it. Thanks, Will. We appreciate
Later,
it.
guys.
Later.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Find new roads. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Also, I'm curious. Are the majority of Lions fans rooting for Matthew Stafford this week?
Yes.
I think so too. I don't know. I was asked earlier today, am I rooting for Tom Brady or Matthew Stafford?
It becomes a thing. It's been going on since the playoffs started, talking about Matt Stafford. The majority of the Detroit Lions fan base, as it relates to Matt Stafford, they're cheering for Stafford. And if you think about it, you have to understand why. Stafford never did anything wrong here. Stafford played hurt. Stafford showed up. Stafford was on time. Stafford embraced Detroit. He embraced the community, especially his wife and the ordeal they went through. They embraced Beaumont Hospital. They embraced Ford. Matthew Stafford was Detroit Lions. He didn't do anything wrong. So you can't do anything but cheer for a guy. You have to cheer for him. He's deserved that respect. Is that fair to say, man?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What game are you most looking forward to? Ryan, I'll start with you.
I'm looking forward to the Rams and the Bucks. I am, just because I think the narrative, that's a big storyline game.
You know what I hate the most about this? That game's at 3 o'clock.
That's what I like best about it, because I think that game can only be trumped by one game, and that's the Bills and the Chiefs.
I know, but what the 3 and the 7 o'clock start?
I wish it was an AFC NFC day, but I know you can't do that because of the Monday night game.
It used to be like that.
Yeah,
it used to be like that.
I wish it was.
I feel like
AFC
used to be Saturday, NFC was Sunday.
Well, no, they'd split them. They always split them.
But nonetheless, you give a team the Saturday winner of the NFC and AFC gets that extra day. I think that's wrong.
I played on Saturday. I won on Saturday and went to the playoffs.
No, I know, but the Saturday team will play
for the following week. You get an extra day off.
You get an extra day off,
but they also get a day less going into that game. So it evens out.
There you go. That's why you're you and I'm me.
I just happen to have a different level of experience than you.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network is the bottom line.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer.
We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, gang, I do want to tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. This place is wicked awesome. We like things uncomplicated. All we want to do is watch football and look good, right? Isn't that right? And if you look at my hair now, ooh.
So all I do.
You're
looking handsome, young
Thank
man.
you very much. This place is packed here today. If you see behind Maz there, we got it all going on. Maybe a little break in the action on the other side of the Lady Jane's facility there. Lot going on over there. Lady Jane's, walk in, sign in, sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee.
That's right. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Wicked.
All right, Tom Mazawey, this is your part of the show in which you come up with the videos of the day, which is one of our favorite segments of the Ermanni and Edwards program.
It's my pleasure. Did you guys get a chance to see Penny Hardaway?
I did.
Yap at the people in Memphis. The people. Where are the people?
He was a little upset.
He was a little upset at the press. He's a little mad at the media, and he kind of spoke his word. Here's Bad Penny. Check him out.
I think the one thing I can say to this media, because this media gets kind of up sometimes when it comes to me. We don't have our full roster. Y'all know we don't have our full roster. Stop asking me stupid questions about if I feel like I can do something. If I had my roster like they did, then I feel like I can do whatever I want to do. I'm coaching really hard. My boys are playing really hard. I'm not embarrassed about nothing. We have 4 freshmen starting. Y'all need to act like it. Act like we got 17 to 18 and 19-year-olds out here trying to learn how to play against 22, 23, and 24-year-old guys. Come on, man.
Monty Bates.
Stop disrespecting me, bro. Like, don't do that.
Ooh.
I work too hard. I work way too hard for that. Y'all write all these articles about me, and all I do is work. We got young kids on the floor. They got young kids on the floor.
You know who's missing from there? Little Penny.
I think the one thing I can say to this media.
He needs Little Penny with him.
That's what I'm talking. Hey, you know what? You know what? Good for Anthony Hardaway, with the exception of one thing where I will get to. Sometimes, man, the media, man, they just ask you questions, they go after you, and they just have no care of what the question might cause or what the legwork had to go into that question, do some warm work. Good for him. The one thing I will disagree with, though, he said, I got guys that are 18 and they're playing against guys that are 23, 24, and 25. Where the hell are the 25-year-olds in NCAA basketball? These guys are going to the NBA after year one. Where the hell are their 23, 24, 25?
He must be playing against Timmy McCormick.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Are they doing Mormon missions? What is he talking about?
And here's the part where I'll stick up for the media part of it a little bit. The question was a dumb one. The question was that you don't hear if he lost faith in the ability to get the job done at Memphis and if he was embarrassed by the team's performance. Not a good question at all. But
that's a loaded question.
It's a bad question. It's a bad question. But so my perspective is a different one. When you're at a smaller market like that, which Memphis is, you know what you get? Younger media with not as much experience, and they don't know how to ask questions because it's not what you ask. 99% of the time, it's not what you ask.
How you ask it.
It's how you ask it. Yeah. And I remember when I was a young reporter, Urban Meyer ripped me when I was in Toledo.
You were a Cub reporter.
Yeah, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was there because I was learning to come up, and not saying that people in Memphis don't know what they're doing, and maybe that's not an excuse, but they're probably kid reporters doing this job that don't know how to report yet, and they're trying to cut their teeth, and they say stupid stuff, and the person on the other end should know that's what's happening. I feel like, you know what I mean. I don't know. So that's where I'll come from, sticking up for the media, being a media member.
You go ahead.
As long as I am, and
You
being
go.
in that spot.
Maybe
as a young reporter, I've asked a lot of dumb questions in my life. And man, you just like Brad Ausmus was a total jerk to me when he played baseball for the Tigers. When he played for the Tigers, not when he was a manager.
Look what that lady asked Bill Belichick a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, dumb.
About do you have a New Year's resolution?
Yeah.
What's the matter, Bray?
No, I just wanted to say something.
Okay, go
Dom Rivera 88 on the chat says, and I quote, "Anyone notice the sparkle in Ryan's eye when he looks at Braylon? Yesterday talking, smacking ass. Now today, bring his foxhole. Dom Rivera, let me tell you like this, big guy. I hope one day that you have the joy that I experienced with colleagues that I work with, such as Maz and Sam and Alex and Stick and Sawyer today, and actually Spencer today, and my good buddy, Ryan Ermanni. I hope one day you experience the joy of working with colleagues like that. I have nothing negative to say to you. Just that. I hope one day you experience the joy of working with colleagues that you care about, that you have fun with.
Thank you.
I hope you one day experience that from your grandma's basement."
Amen.
Hey, moving on. This one takes you back to 1990, one of my favorite years. It's Pat Summerall and John Madden. It's the Giants and the 49ers. It's the NFC Championship. Matt Barr coming on the field. The Giants have forced a fumble to get the ball back one last time to try to knock off the Niners, who have won 2 straight Super Bowls. Check this out.
Ooh-wee.
4th and 2, and they'll have to punt. Landetta to Taylor. Fake punt, and it's going to work. It's
Gary Reasons.
Reasons streaking.
Gary Reasons.
Inside the 25.
Giants uniforms.
Oh, they're beautiful. Look at Parcells.
That's the play they needed. They needed something to get him out of this. Bill Parcells came up with it. Probably in the history of the game, Bill Parcells has to
Can they go back to those helmets?
Yes, please.
You want to change the culture and
turn out.
go
Boom,
back
what
to
a
them
hole
helmets.
there.
Yes.
The only guy there is the safety, who is a return man, John Taylor, and he makes a pretty good tackle.
And if he doesn't,
Oh, my. Let's bring it down.
6.
Let's bring it down. We're good. That's good.
Very
Matt Barr would line up later and give the game-winning field goal and knock off.
I should
the
have grown
Niners.
up a New York Giants fan. I'll tell you why. Reggie McKenzie used to do a camp every year in Highland Park. Reggie McKenzie was from Highland Park, went to the University of Michigan, played with Buffalo, with O.J. Simpson, and played for Seattle. He's a Hall of Famer. He kept passing the camp down, and the next person in line was Pepper Hamilton.
Pep Hamilton.
I know you know about Pepper Hamilton. Pepper Hamilton went to McKenzie High School, played at Ohio State, was on those teams, was started when those guys won. When Pep took over the camp, guess who he used to bring to the camp, man? Carl Abrams. He used to bring Carl Abrams. He used to bring in Harry Carson.
Harry Carson.
He used to bring in your
Carl
boy.
Banks, Carl Killer
Guess
Banks.
who he used to bring in? 56.
Oh,
he used to
LT.
bring in LT.
LT.
He used to bring in Meggett. He used to bring all those guys in.
Love David Meggett.
I'm trying to tell you,
Look
I
at that
should have
little
been a
Meggett
Giant fan. I saw these guys as a tyke, like watching them. I
Pepper
loved
Johnson was the man.
Yeah,
Loved
Carl
him.
Abrams was a monster, man.
Carl Banks, hell of a businessman now.
Carl Banks. Carl Killer Banks
and Kevin
from
Abrams.
MSU.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Carl Banks and Kevin Abrams.
Give me one more, Maz.
Here's one, guys. This was from a news. This was Channel 2 News in L.A. It's a motorcycle
Crazy.
chase. Listen.
Oh my God!
There's some crazy
bro.
stuff that's going to go on in
I
this
never
video.
I never saw anything
This is
like
going to be
this.
some raw imaging. Let's take you out to L.A. and this report.
And so
Bro.
dangerous. It's tough to see this because people are not expecting a vehicle of any type, even a motorcycle, to come racing up to them so quickly. And wow, well over 80 miles an hour, creeping up on 100 miles
he is
an hour.
flying.
You can see it just flying by these cars. And it is not only dangerous to those other drivers, but certainly dangerous to this motorcyclist. You know, these cars, the drivers don't know that it's coming up so fast. You can see, wow. That motorcyclist appearing to kind of stand up there on the motorcycle there for a second. But oh my gosh!
There. Right there.
We have just seen.
All right, Spence.
Sorry, we just
Very
saw.
good. Oh, yeah. Now, Ryan, you've done live news. Could you have done that and gotten through that?
No, no, and that's exactly why we don't do those like that anymore. Right. You know what I mean? Because of that reason.
Mike G wants to know, when did OJ get a bike?
Man, OJ was moving.
You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that happen on live television anymore. You know,
you don't. They do.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say this in the words of New Radical, which was a one-hit wonder.
Oh yeah,
1998. You get what you give.
Hey, before we get out, you guys who say your goodbyes, we're going to play at the end of our show the All-Star Game, baseball All-Star Game, Three River Stadium in 1994. The great Meatloaf, who passed away today, does the national anthem, and it's one of the best national anthems you're ever going to hear. I take our hat off to him. Of course, Louis Anderson passed away, the funny comedian, today, and Braylon, we lost someone in your family as well that I'd like to give our best to.
Absolutely. We will end the week on a positive note.
Yeah,
what a great week. Spencer, Sam Reynolds, baby. Spencer, Alex, we love you, baby.
Miss you, man.
We'll see you next week. Braylon, get us out of here.
Hey, you know what? One thing, this is about Woodward Sports, man, and what I will say is one thing you see, man, you see new talent stepping in and filling and plugging and playing, man. You see Spence step in, you see Stick step in, you see Sawyer step in, Sam's we're doing this thing. That's what we provide at Woodward Sports, man. Like, we are a group that loves each other, whether it's Big D Energy, whether it's the Morning Wood, whether it is the Bottom Line, whether it is the sports gambling show that we have with Beardman Prince, Scotty G, Woodward Bets. Everybody is about everybody, and that's why you're getting the high quality premium content. We love you. We appreciate you. Keep supporting, keep subscribing, and guess what? Keep telling people about us. I'm Edwards. That's Ermanni. That's my boy Sam over there. This is Spencer filling in for Al May. And on the couch, it is Uncle Maz.
Meatloaf.
We're out of here.
And now, to honor America, please join Grammy Award-winning MCA recording artist Meatloaf as he sings the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we who watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets linger, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still